Hey everyone, I'm John. I collect cards, and I'm getting ready to send out my third SGC 5 card vintage card order. It's going to go out tomorrow. So today's Thursday, September 29th. It's going to go out tomorrow, the 30th, Friday, and the way they're turning them around, I'm hoping I get them back about a week from now or a week from tomorrow. So I'm going to jump right to it, starting from the most recent card, although the card will be 50 years old next year, and that is my 1973 Roberto Clemente. This is it's in the batch of cards that were among the first that I bought, first vintage cards that I bought, not long before I got out of the hobby in the early 90s. And so this had been in a screw down holder for a long time. Finally took it out. And I think, since we're coming up on 50 years since Clemente left us all too soon, it's time to get the Great Ones final Topps card. It's technically not a playing era card, tragically, but it's time to get this one graded. I'm hoping it could squeak out a 5. I think a 4 is probably more likely. It's off center, left, right, as you can tell, and it's got, like on a lot of these cards, Clemente's 73s, this like printer stripe that's evident going up the left side. There's a lot of examples like that, so this is not the only one by any means, but the corners are decent on this. If I can get the focus in pretty good, there we go. So this, knowing that this card came out after he passed away, his plane crash top still put it out. Like, it appealed to me right away back, when I saw it in a show years and years ago. The centering is even more evident in terms of how off center it is here on the back, but in terms of the, with the edging is not as bad in terms of, because it's not that bad given the the black edges on these 73s. So I'm hoping, off centering aside, it maybe can squeak out a 5. I think, again, a 4 is probably more likely, maybe a 4.5. We'll see. It's just, in my opinion, this is a card that just needs to be in a tuxedo. So looking forward to getting that one out and getting it back in a very nice SGC slab. Second card I'm going to put in is, and I've sent this player in before, quite arguably the best, our best, best left-hander in Major League history. One could argue he's definitely in the top 3, and he might be number 1. That's Sandy Koufax, and this is another final card. This is 1966 Topps, number 100, I believe it is. Yes. I recently picked this one up, actually, in the last 4 to 6 weeks, along with the next card I'm going to show. Picked them up in the same, from the same eBay seller, and I got them both at auction, this one and the next one I'm going to show. Hoping this one could eke out a 5 also. I think it has a chance. It's in pretty good condition. I was pleased how it turned out. I think there's a bit of a discoloration on the top right over here. I think the white is slightly discolored there. That is my biggest concern with sending this one in. I think it is anyway. Corners are decent. It's a little off center, top, bottom. But overall, the centering on this card is pretty good. I just love this card. It's a great, I don't know. There's just something about that look and that gaze he's got going on. And I kind of like cards where players have their caps kind of like halfway up their head. I don't know. It's just sort of like, it's like, all right, let me just throw this on, take your picture. And maybe not in a bad way, but it's just like, he's busy. This guy getting ready for his game. He's in the dugout, I think, based on kind of or I think he's in a dugout based on, maybe that's like an advertising piece right there. But anyway, here's the back. It's a decent example. It's got a little staining on the back, as you could see up here, a little bit down here as well. So I think a 4 is more likely, but I'm hoping the corners could maybe salvage a 5, because I think the corners are decent on this, and it presents really well. So I'm excited to send this one in to see what it comes back at. Hoping for a 5, but we'll see. So that's 2 hopes for 5s, and expecting more along the lines of 4s, unless I'm completely missing something in looking at these. My next card I'm going to share again. I'm going to send in and share here. Again, I got it with Koufax from the same eBay seller. I wasn't in the same lot. It's 2 different auctions that I won them in. This is a really nice card. I like this one a lot. It's a 1962 Topps Ernie Banks. I'm not a fan really of the 62 set. It's among my least favorite designs of the 60s. I might do a video on those at some point. I did one on the 70s not too long ago. I'm going to do one on the 60s too. And again, that's just me riffing on set designs and offering my 2 cents. Nothing too technical, or it's just not really. I'm showing cards from each set in those, but I'll do one of that soon. But one of those soon. But this 62 Banks, I think, is a pretty nice example. It's off center, left, right, a little bit top bottom too, but it's like not major for either one in my opinion. To me, the edging is what's the most important thing to look for on this. And this one, I can't remember what I got this for. It was less than, I think I got this one for about 35. The Koufax I got for about 50, I think. So, add 30 to that and we'll see where we're at. But these are kind of more, for these two, these are kind of more like, keepers, holding on to them, and at the same time kind of investment cards, because I think, they're not rookies or anything, but, I think in a slab, and just, these are 2 decent examples. I think these will be, just nice to have in the SGC slab over time. To just kind of enhance their value a little bit at least, and just for my enjoyment. But this is a nice example. I like this photo of him, just such a, right at the peak of his power, so to speak. I mean, what did it say here? He had won back-to-back MVPs in 58 and 59. He was hurt in 61, I guess, for a time. So, but I mean, he was in his prime. So this is just a super cool card, and the back is in pretty nice condition too. Little off center, again, top bottom, as you can see in particular there. But looking forward to getting this one back. Hoping, I would love for this. I'm actually hoping for a 6 on this. I think a 6 is possible. I'm thinking a 5 more likely. If it comes back less than a 5, I will be a little disappointed on that. If it comes back less than a 5, we shall see. But I'm hoping for a 6 on that one. So 5, 5, and 6 are my hopes, and 4, 4, and 5 are kind of my maybe more likely. But we'll see. The last 2 I'm going to show are from my 1954 set. I'm going to send in 2 54s. I have a complete 54 set of Topps, and I'm gradually sending in, the Hall of Famers that are in pretty good condition or better, to get graded for it, because I bought it raw. So I've gotten a few graded. In my last video, I sent in Ted Williams 250. You could find out and what that how that came, or I'll just tell you if you want to watch it anyway. Go for it. That would be great. It came back authentic, unfortunately, but not trimmed. It came back authentic, erased. And then in another video, my first SGC submission, I sent in my Willie Mays from this set, and it came back a 3, which was what I was hoping for, and it did come back a 3, so I was pretty pleased about that one. But I'm gonna send in. Well, I purchased Hank Aaron to end the set as the last card, and I got that one graded. Bought that one graded, actually, 1.5 SGC, and I bought the Banks rookie, Ernie Banks PSA 1.5. So, but I'm going to send in the number 3 rookie from that set, and that is Al Kaline. So I'm going to send in my Kaline here. Excuse me. We'll see how it comes back. I think it's a pretty nice card. Again, for, being almost 70 years old now. The bottom right corner is the issue on this. It's more than a little wonky. The color on this is really nice, though. The color is sweet on this one. There's very little paper loss. Maybe a tad bit of snow on this, but really not that much. The red-orange color just pops on this. So on a good day, if it's a good day, the graders on the graders, kind of got it in for me. It might get a 3 or worse. But on a decent day, maybe a 4 is a possibility on this. That's what I'm aiming for. Hoping for a 4. Come on, focus. That back there, something going on the back bottom left there too. A little bit of fading as well as corner wear. So I think a 4 might be a stretch on this. I think this is more going to be in the 3 to 3.5 ballpark. So we'll see. I think, again, I think this card is a little bit better condition than my Mays. Mays had a little bit more paper loss on it, especially on the border. I think this one, the color on this is just really good. it's just the eye appeal on this is really nice. And so I think a 4 is a possibility, and that's what I'm hoping for, but we shall see on that. Then the last card I'm going to send in for my 54 set is actually one of my better condition cards among the Hall of Famers that I have, possibly the best condition Hall of Famer I have in the whole set. And so I thought maybe it was worth sending this one in. And that was Richie Ashburn. Not super high value on this, but I think it'll kind of lock in some value by putting in the $30 and getting it slabbed. Now I've got other Hall of Famers that I'm going to send in over time. You know, I've got to send them in my Jackie. Yeah, it might come back a 1 actually, so I'll share it again. I probably will send that in with my next submission. I've got Ted Williams number 1 to send in. That'll probably come back a 2 or 3. Yogi Berra 3 or 4, I'm guessing. So I mean, I got Whitey Ford. I'm hoping maybe it could be a 5 at least. But you know, so I have more to send in. But I think I'm going to send in. I want to get in the. I wanted to send 2 from this set. I might start sending in 2 at a time. But if I was going to send in a second one with K-Line, you know, Ashburn is an all-time great, but at the same time, the value isn't quite as high for his cards as some of those other names I just mentioned. So, but fingers crossed this comes back. I'd love for this to come back a 6. Do I think it could come back even better? Yeah, maybe. I don't want to get too not greedy, but just sort of like naively hopeful. But this is a pretty nice card. Got this at Legends Card Shop in Grand Rapids. It's a really nice card shop. It's not my local one. It's about an hour away from where I live, so it's a bit of a you know, I got to make a little bit of a part day trip out of it to get there and back. 2 hours in the car, but it's worth the drive to do a few times a year. Just if I'm going up there just for going to Legends. So anyway, this is the last card I'm going to send in. I'm at 12 minutes here, so I'll wrap it up. But so I'm going to send in my Ashburn, hoping for a 6 on this one. You know, actually, I'd love it if it came back a 7. I'd be thrilled. Maybe it's a possibility. We'll see. And if it comes back a 5, you know, I wouldn't be shocked if it came back a 5. I can't see it coming back less than a 5 unless there's just something completely missing on. But there you have it. These are the cards I'm sending in tomorrow to SGC, and hopefully they'll be back by this time next week or 7 or 8 days from now. In order again, I'm hoping for a 5, a 6, a 4, and let's just shoot for the moon, hoping for a 7 on that. But we'll see where we go. All right, thanks very much for watching. See you on the next video.